Hey, this is Evan from Octane Electrons. Today we're going to check out a very cool, pretty high-end OBD2 scanner. This is the Launch CRP919EBT model. So this is an Android tablet with a Bluetooth, like wireless Bluetooth module that plugs into the OBD port. Full-featured scanner that does all sorts of stuff, bidirectional graphing, Wi-Fi updates, can do ECU coding and a bunch of advanced service features. My cars I have to test it on probably don't support most of this, so I won't be able to show everything, but we'll show what we can. We'll check it on my Subaru, my O2 WRX here, and see what it supports. So it comes in a really nice molded case that holds everything. Go ahead and open it up. So I've already opened it up and updated it and registered it. It would just be kind of long and hard to show all the features to set it up like that. The tablet is over here with Velcro straps, which is really nice. Let's take it out of the bag here. Okay. And take this off. Okay. So we'll look at the unit first. Got USB port here. Looks like a USB-A, USB-C ports. On the back, serial number, all that stuff. It's a thick plastic case, rubberized corners for protection, which is really nice. It's kind of heavy. Seems to be really well made. Power button right here. We'll let that boot up to the main menu. Okay, and in the other side of the case, unlock this, open it up. We have the Bluetooth module, OBD2 cable for the module to the car, and a power plug charging cable. So it charges over the USB, it looks like. The USB-C plug, and it's got different adapters for different power outlets in different countries. And then we have a packing list, user manual, and your activation code and serial number are on. Let me show you here. So we got a user manual in there, a quick start guide, and then you've got an envelope in here that has your activation code and serial number for the software. So make sure you keep that. All right. Now, like I said, I had already updated this. Okay. So we're at the main menu here. I don't have it connected to the Wi-Fi here. I updated it at home. But when you're connected to your Wi-Fi, you can go to your software update and get out of that. Log into your account. When you first start it up, it's going to ask you to register an account, make a name and password or email and password, and then enter your serial number and activation code. And then it'll let you log in and you can update your software from the mall. I guess without Wi-Fi I can't. With a Wi-Fi connection, you can go to the mall and you can download other software packages that aren't included for a ton of advanced stuff. I don't have any vehicles to use that on, so I'm not going to purchase any of it. But that's about it to take a look at everything here. I'm going to go ahead and get it plugged into the car, and then we'll start checking it out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry, change of plans. We're looking at my 2007 Ford F-150. I was going to test this on the Subaru, but I think it's an older WRX, and the diagnostic modes work just fine, but the automatic VIN detection doesn't seem to work on the Subaru. So anyways, that's okay. We're going to use my F-150, which works fine. So I have the OBD cable plugged in down there, got my key on, and here's our module. All the lights are on, it's connected. And I had to look this up. So this is a breakout cable, so you can use this with older OBD systems. So you can break this out to different connectors apparently, which we don't need here. So okay, so we're at the main menu. I went ahead and connected to my Wi-Fi so we can look at, I don't think there's any updates, but we'll show you. We'll go into software update first. Oh, so since last night, there's a couple updates. So let's go ahead and check them both and say update. Should just take a second. So yeah, I updated everything last night, and there's more already, so very cool. All right, perfect. Okay, so our updates are done. Okay, perfect. Go back. We can look at the mall really quick. You can see all these software packages available. There's a bunch of cool stuff. I might play with later, but I don't need anything now. So Tesla and a bunch of Asian manufacturers that I'm not familiar with, and certainly not going to buy the software for because I won't use it. But lots of expandability for the software. One thing I definitely want to look at later is it has motorcycle software in the mall. BMW, I'm not sure, demo. Harley, Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha. I don't have, most of my bikes are older. I have a newer Moto Guzzi that's fuel injected and has a computer, but it doesn't clearly work with this. So anyways, at some point when I have a bike to work on that's newer, I might look at that software, but very cool. Expandability, nothing under model or other, let's see, what's this? Oh, commercial. Okay, so clearly I don't need any of that stuff. Some other tabs up here. Service upgrade lets you, looks like, upgrade your software packages as they get newer. I suppose this probably has a year of updates or something that comes with your account. Renewal card, other goods, nothing there. Okay, so there's the mall. I'm gonna hit the exit button up in the corner, go back to the main menu. So that's very cool. Info center I was looking at last night. This was pretty cool. It has, so operation tips. This was pretty cool because it like has an entire catalog of manufacturers. So we'll go into Ford, and it has a bunch of like notes on how to use this with various features for Ford. So none of them seem to apply to my older F-150, but it's pretty cool. So if you tap on one like here, Ford tire pressure monitoring for a 2005 Navigator, and it'll open this like service bulletin kind of thing telling you exactly how to do the test. So that, I thought that was really cool. I don't need any of these, but very cool that they have this like library or catalog here to help. Okay, DTC help. I'm sure you can guess, but it has a DTC library for some manufacturers. So Suzuki air conditioning system, check. Let's see. So again, more specific stuff for trouble codes for specific models. So very cool. Again, I don't need any of that right now, but really nice to have that built into the unit. Technology handbook. Let's look at this. Ford. Software is planned, so nothing here yet. See if there's anything in any of them. Audi, diagnostic software guide, fuel injection management system. So it looks like you have to be connected to the Wi-Fi for this, and it's grabbing a file, probably a PDF file or something, from their system to display, which is very cool to have that technology. So I suppose you do want to leave this connected to your Wi-Fi. You don't have to use the features, but there's a lot of expandability there. What's really cool is just how nice the tablet is. It's totally portable, rubber corners, so you can drop it or whatever. It's well built. I think this is pretty awesome. And the fact that it's Bluetooth, you could test stuff outside of the car. So cool. Yes, wiring diagram. Right on. So again, awesome. Doesn't have stuff for every vehicle, but got a lot of nice features there built into the unit. Okay. User info. So this takes you into like the settings menu kind of. I'm not going to go through that stuff. It has my info in it. Other modules. So here's a bunch of other stuff, which are really Android apps, I think. Web browser, calculator, Gmail, gallery. It has a, does it have a camera? Let's see. I think it does. Yeah, okay, cool. So it has a camera in the tablet. Right on. So very cool. Service functions, we'll go back through some of this after we look at the diagnostic settings. My truck's not going to support most of this, being a 2007 anyways, but very cool. Feedback. lets you submit a bug report. It looks like select vehicle model for diagnostic feedback. Okay, so we don't need to do any of that. Diagnostic history shows the Subaru when I was accessing it, but we're going to start over like we're looking at the truck here. Okay, so let's start with intelligent diagnose. I think this is the most functional way most people would use this. All right. Read the VIN just fine. So on my Subaru, it would go through and detect the VIN no problem, but it like wouldn't confirm it, and it would ask me to type it in again, and I'm not sure why. It's an older vehicle, so I'm assuming that's why. So Ford EV, no, this is a Ford truck. Okay, software, Ford series version, test different models, supports all the modules this truck's gonna have, that's for sure. It is a 2007 F-150. It is a 5.4 liter, and that's the correct VIN. All right, so let's hit diagnostics. Let's start a session here and check it out. Okay, ignition is on. Cool. Okay, we're here at the main menu. Let's do a health report. Nice, very fast scanning, which is great. So again, I think this is my older Subaru, but I did a manual test telling it was a Subaru and to run that software, and it was able to scan all the modules and stuff, no problem, but it was much slower. And again, I think that's due to the older vehicle, probably older computer. So let's see what we got. My truck, I use this for a lot of videos. It's a low mile, 37,000 mile, 2007 F-150. It has no error codes. So there's usually not anything we need to like check, but it's a good truck to look through things for. And I've seen this pop up before. This is a code that comes up every now and then. Doesn't trigger a check engine light, but I have seen this fuel pump secondary circuit code come up for my truck a few times now. I've cleared it and it comes back, so nothing I'm worried about right now, but at some point I'll look into that. I have put a new fuel pump driver module on this truck, which is usually the problem with these. Yeah, it's about the FPDM. So, interesting. At some point we'll look into that, but it's not causing any problems here. But again, very cool that you can see the code right here, and I can look it up for a description using Wi-Fi right from that button. I think that's pretty awesome. I'll go into the powertrain control module and see if there's anything else we can learn from the actual module menu. So it's organized like most of these scanners. It'll show, do a self-detect or auto-detect, whatever you want to call it, and then show all the modules your vehicle supports. Then you can go into each of those modules for the advanced functions for each one. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Software number, we don't need that. Clear fault memory. So I wondered, this is bidirectional scanner, and maybe we can activate the fuel pump and see if it tells us anything interesting. All right. This parameter is output from the ECU to control fuel pump duty cycle. A fuel pump driver module. Yeah, well, we have one of those. Let's see. Turn it on. And off. Well, don't see anything interesting happening there. Let's go back. Fuel pump percent. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't see anything interesting there. Anti-theft indicator lamp control. Very cool. So bidirectional stuff's always awesome. There's all sorts of stuff you can control here, but most of which I really don't need to mess around here. Let's look at read fault code. Retrieve. Yeah, there it is. Fuel pump secondary circuit. I'm going to clear that, and I'll check this again and see if it comes back. Because I have a new driver module, like I said, so I don't know why that code shows up, and I don't have any fuel pump problems. Okay, so already very cool to check out. Special functions. Infotainment display test. Passive anti-theft system. No, I don't want to run through that whole test. Okay, spark duration, compression. A lot of cool tests in here. I really don't want to run all of these, but power balance. Lots of cool tests I haven't seen on other scanners. That's very cool. Okay, right on. All right, let me get out of that. Look at 4x4 module. Actuation testing is your bidirectional testing. That's great. You can turn the wheel solenoids on and off. Those require vacuum, and the engine's not running, so I'm not going to mess with that. But really great for troubleshooting because we can activate all of these different things. I think that's very cool. Let's see what else. ABS module. ABS service bleed. I have other scanners that have done that, and I have used that on this truck before, so that's very useful. Program modules. Actuation tests. Oh wow, it can actually activate every individual valve. That could be very useful. Right on. So this has more features than even my other bidirectional scanner does. Much more detailed control features. That's very cool. Look at driver's seat control module. Actuation tests. That's great when you can actually control things right from the tablet. Great. Let's look. And that moves my power driver's seat right away. Very cool. Okay. Right on. So again, can be super useful for trying to troubleshoot a very specific function. Instrument cluster, parking aid. I wonder what we can change in the parking aid module. Maybe the distance it activates at. Oh, just actuation tests. Activate. Let's see. Yep. Right on. Awesome. Okay. Let's look in the vehicle security module. I feel like a lot of these bidirectional scanners won't be able to activate any functions in there. Oh, right on. Can change factory keyless entry code. I don't want to change anything. Programmable parameters. Yeah, that's okay. All right, very cool. Okay, still loading. Okay, that took a while. Interesting. 2-step unlock, driver's door unlock, keypad backlighting. That's probably the keypad outside the car, not supported. It's okay. Horn output. Okay, that works. Okay, right on. So we've looked at the bidirectional stuff. Very cool. Works great. Look at some of the data stream stuff we can display. Select those and see. Right on. So we can pick different ID sensor IDs to display. We can show them in a table format, which is awesome. Let's check the graph format. Yeah, awesome. So then we can also graph multiple data items at the same time. So that's always really useful for troubleshooting. Right on. Combined, we can put them on the same graph. So very cool. That can be a very powerful tool for troubleshooting. So right on. Okay, cool. All right, so that's pretty much everything in the diagnostic menu. Let's see here. So system selection, that basically is where we were before. Lets us select individual models, individual computers, sorry, to test and look at. Okay, different service functions. I doubt my truck has most of these. Doesn't have oil reset. Bleeding, it probably supports, yeah, ABS service bleed. Oil reset, this truck doesn't do that. Electric throttle relearn, that could be useful. Gearbox relearn. Seat calibration. Power balance cylinders. So some cool things in common functions. Vehicle information. System scans, going to step through again and check all the modules to tell us what is supported by this scanner. Yeah, right on. Gives us the whole module list. Okay. Special functions, body, security. That kind of is another way into the functions for the individual models, or individual modules. But instead of going into the module first, we can look at what special functions are available. So very cool. Kind of a shortcut if you know you need those functions. And module programming. Let's see what is supported here. Programmable module. Okay, so we could install and program a new vehicle security module, driver seat module, instrument cluster, and ABS. Awesome. That's very powerful. Most scanners do not do that. And here's parameters we can change from the vehicle. Climate control, outside temperature, flex fuel, don't want to mess with that. Power door locks. I'm not going to change my settings there. Exterior lighting, perimeter lighting. Let's see what that does. Forbid and enabled. Well, I'll look it up later because I'm not sure what perimeter lighting is. Personality, flex fuel, occupant restraint. No. Okay, so I don't want to change any of that. But very cool functions from there. Okay. So I'm going to end the session and it doesn't alarm telling me don't forget to remove the scanner tool or the OBD tool. So we can look at the history, we can see what we scanned. We can look at the diagnostic report it generated, so that's very cool. Show us what the error codes are and any of that. Quick access. Right on. So that does a very quick scan, gets us back to the main menu. Okay. Yep. Okay. Exit that. So I think that's the best way to use it is intelligent diagnose. Local diagnose lets you go through. This is how it's able to work with the Subaru. You can go through and actually pick the make and load the very specific software, it won't auto detect for you, so you'll tell it. So you go through and pick, go to American, Ford. It's going to say okay, it'll launch the Ford software. So we can automatically search, and it should be able to detect the vehicle. Or like the Subaru, like I said, it wouldn't auto detect, but I could tell it what the vehicle was and it would work just fine. Just doesn't support anywhere near what this truck does. It doesn't have individual modules for all sorts of functions. So kind of ends up at the same place, but a different way of doing it, especially on an older vehicle that doesn't support the same features. And we'll go back into service function. That was the other thing. And like I said, this truck doesn't support most of these things. A newer vehicle probably does, but like, let's see what Sunroof Reset does. I know this truck doesn't have a sunroof, so we'll see. Not successfully performed. Please go to Smart Diagnosis and perform the procedure. We'll see what happens. So you have to go in and select what you have. We'll try Ford. We already know we don't even have a sunroof in here, so I expect we'll get an error message at some point. That's the correct vehicle. Does not support. Okay, so we're not going to be able to use most of these on this vehicle, but there are things in here that are supported. Like the only one I see out of all this that I know for sure would work, this truck supports the ABS bleeding function, but the service function is like a shortcut. You can get to these through the individual modules when you're inside of the vehicle diagnosis screen, but this is like a shortcut to a specific service that you need to do, especially if you know your vehicle supports it. So right on. Okay, well, I think that covers all the functions and features here. I hope you like it. I'm super impressed with this. This is my new go-to scanner. I love it. Thing is awesome, really well made, works really well, intuitive, great software, comes in a great case and all that. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Really excellent tool, and I hope you like checking this out with me. See ya.